Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the JSJ Podcast, where we talk about a multitude of things that we find interesting and other shit that we like. Today we have myself, Sam, and my co-host and good friends, Josh and Josh.
Woohoo.
So, Josh, why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about today?
You go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our new podcast that we're starting together. This episode, we're just going to go over some introduction stuff, let you know a little bit about ourselves and what this podcast is and that type of thing. And we might also talk about some more fun topics if we get around to it. We'll see how things go. So yeah, that's what's going on. We should preface, I think, as well, by the way, for anybody who happens to come across us who isn't familiar with us, which probably is nobody, but just in case.
Probably nobody.
There is indeed two people on this podcast named Josh. That is why we decided to name it JSJ after everybody on the pod. So we got Josh 1, and then we got Sam, who previously just gave the introduction, and then we got, Josh 2 as well. I don't know which ones those are, but
I'm number 3.
He'll be Josh 3. There's a hidden Josh in here somewhere. Sam, you can be a Josh in spirit.
Shiny
Okay?
Pokemon.
Josh is the editing software,
Oh.
or just the video. I don't know.
Yeah, Josh is the presence around us.
Yeah, it's like the okay. This is good.
It's like the Force. Right. The Josh Force.
Well, with the Joshes out of the way, I'd say I could go first for introducing myself to the grand
sure. Go
audience
ahead,
that we
Sam.
have. All 2 of you people watching here.
Uh-huh.
Well, as you know, my name is Sam. I am the odd one out. My name's not Josh, unfortunately. Bit of a basic way to introduce myself is my interests as far as it goes is I would say I'm a musician. I like playing piano and guitar. Those are the 2 things that I've learned over time. I love the Beatles, bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, that kind of era of classic rock and hard rock. And gaming, of course. I'm a big Nintendo fan. I've got a pretty massive collection of games and amiibo, as you'll come to find as we talk more about that kind of stuff in the podcast.
Yeah, should we make that an episode?
Probably.
Your amiibo collection?
Yeah.
The game collection, amiibo.
Yeah, we could compare game collections and stuff. We could do that.
True.
That'd be a fun special episode.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, that's pretty much on the topic of gaming. That's kind of how I know these guys. We all went to the same elementary school. We had the same kind of interests in gaming and other stuff.
Yes, sir. Honestly,
And,
that's what you need to know about me too. I like games a lot, and I guess like movies and shit. The rest you can find out by listening. Okay, I don't need to.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I would say it's like pretty similar for me too. Like Sam, I'm a big music guy. A lot of the music that I listen to is a little bit more intense than the stuff that Sam does. I don't dislike that stuff, but I like the more metal side of music and that type of thing. But I'm also
He doesn't listen to metal. It's iron.
It's iron.
We go all the way to iron.
Wait, Josh, I think I told Sam this. Okay, on the other day, I'm driving. I put on the radio, and this song called Frankenstein starts playing. It's from like the 70s.
Okay.
That was ahead of its time, dude. I listened to it.
Bro,
Oh, yeah?
it was so random, but it was kind of good. But it was just this like insane like rock song. I don't even remember if there's any like lyrics. And I was like, this is
progressive rock, Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like
You know how like you can get pretty crazy prog styles.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like 1973, so it's kind of early.
Yeah.
But it was pretty insane.
dude, I was like
that's
all over the
cool.
place.
and then after the song finished, the guy on the radio was like, "That's the song you can dance to, guys, right?" I'm like, I don't know about that, but it was good.
But yeah, my thought process was, why would they put this on the radio? This is such a like hidden gem.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they don't play songs like this.
Yeah, that's weird. I'll have to check this out. It's Frankenstein, it's called?
I don't remember, actually.
Yeah, I don't know the name of the guy. Edward.
What was his
something?
name again? It was like. Yeah, it was like Edward something. I don't remember though. I'm gonna try looking it up.
It's Edgar
Oh
Winter.
yeah, Edgar Winter's group.
Yeah, wait, you know this?
Okay. I don't know it. I'm not familiar with this. I don't think anyways. But
He's just Googled the name.
wow. Okay,
It
yeah,
was
I'll check
good,
it
though.
out. And everyone else who's listening, you got to make sure you check out Frankenstein by the Edgar Wright's group. I guess is
I
one
guess.
thing
I'll
to take
insert
away
a
from this
s-
episode.
A 7.
I can't. That's the.
I'm gonna insert a 7-second snippet of it right now, so no copyright. All right, it played. What
And
was the
welcome
video?
back.
What-
What
that
wonderful
was-
music it was.
I like how that's the first thing that we talked about.
That's part of the introduction.
Of course. So, do you guys... I feel like we should talk about how we all, like, individually met each other. I feel like, if we can even remember. I feel like I've known you guys for so long that I could... It's like, I can barely remember a time when I didn't know
Oh,
you
man.
guys.
I actually remember
It
how
was
I.
like grade 2 or something for me and Josh.
Yeah.
2.
I remember. Okay, I don't really remember how I met you guys specifically. I remember how we became friends though.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could go into
What's your side of the story? Because we all probably have different kind of recollections of it.
Okay, so I remember me and you at least, Sam. We were like,
It was like grade 2 or 1.
It was grade 2. We were in the same like class, and it was like
Yeah.
we were both friends with Daniel, right?
I remember Daniel.
And I don't know. We met, and then
Okay, so he was the mutual.
yeah, kind of. I mean, there was like other people too, but they're not as important. And then we both, for some reason, somehow got on the topic of Mario Sunshine one day,
Damn, what a good start.
and then it all slowly happened.
Yeah, I remember, like, my first memory of you was we were in a classroom, and you just came up to me like, "Hi, my name's Josh." I'm like, "Oh, hi, my name's Sam," and then we left it at that. But then we started talking again at recess.
Was
It was just so random.
Was that how? Okay, I don't remember that.
You
You
just
just had
walked
to get
away.
the
I'm like,
introduction
"Oh,
out of
great."
the way.
I mean, to be fair, I've probably done that before with people. Just, hey, what's up? How's it going? Like, you say your name, and then, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And whoever else is there. Yeah.
I remember
and we
Sunshine
just
being
started
the
there,
main thing we talked about a lot.
I remember you said it. There's if you go in like there, you can there's like a passageway
Yeah.
underground.
Like,
It's, like,
and
a
I
loud-
tried going home and finding it and being so disappointed. Oh, Dr. Mario's in the game somewhere. If you got to go on this cliff. that was bullshit.
And then every time I mention like a character that could have been one, you're like, oh no, not that character.
It's another one. You would know them. They go to another
Yeah.
school.
It was like
They're
another
in another
Bowser.
Mario game.
It was.
I got tired of the gaslighting.
It's okay. It's okay. I remember one time in like grade 2, I said I played every Mario game except Paper Mario for some reason.
I remember that made me jealous for some reason. I'm like, wow, every Mario game?
Like that's
It just-
crazy.
I just completely made that up.
Kids, you're prone to do that type of stuff as kids. Though you just make stuff up about yourself or make things up in order to sound
Yeah.
more cool or interesting.
It's like I played
Yeah.
all of them. I think it was just because I watched some video that had all of them in it,
Hmm.
and then I don't know why I decided that was my thing.
Well, how did you meet us, other Josh?
Yeah. So I remember I came in a little bit later. We all did go to the same like elementary school together, so I grew up kind of like around
Yeah.
you guys. But I wasn't like friends, I would say, with you guys at first for a pretty long time. Until
We knew of you, though.
yeah, we all like knew of each other because we
Yeah.
were like see each other. We were all in the same year and everything like that.
Yeah.
We also
But-
had like mutual friends.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that all helped for sure. Especially by the time that I was in like I think grade 6 or something like that, like around 10 or 11 or something. And that was around the time when we did have those like real mutual friends. Like I remember
Yeah.
I became friends with Daniel as well, who we just like previously mentioned, and a few other guys that we all sort of like hung out with at the time. And I was in like a new class that year. I didn't have a lot of my old friends and stuff like that, so I was like I kind of gotta meet some like new people and stuff like that, and that's how I ended up meeting you guys. And then slowly over
I
time,
remember Rohan too.
yep, Rohan was there.
Oh my god, that
Gosh, who else was there? Arya, I feel like, kind of. Rohan was more so, I think. Janeth.
Janet.
Janeth was a character. Wow, I haven't
like
thought about Janeth for a long time.
He
but
never ran out of things to say.
No,
I like
he
how-
did not.
I like how all the
For
people
better
getting
or for
mentioned,
worse.
all the people getting mentioned right now are the ones we haven't seen in like 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
I haven't thought about any of these guys really, like, basically up until this moment, but we all still remained friends for a really long time, like up until today, and it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
like we've been friends for like, I mean, what at this point, like it's been more than 10 years basically.
Over a
It's,
decade
yeah,
easily.
it's been over a decade.
Yeah, I think
that
so,
we've
yeah.
been friends, and
Just-
like all these years later, we still love talking about Nintendo stuff. We like talking about movies and and video games and all that type of stuff. So I mean, I think that this like podcast, it should be great because it's just gonna be a natural sort of evolution of what we already usually do.
yeah.
Exactly. It's gonna flow. It's gonna flow.
I remember distinctly. I feel like we became okay. It was like around like E3 one year that like me and you started talking more.
Yeah, I remember that too. Actually, now that you mention it,
Because we like weren't really talking that much before then, and then
like a little bit.
yeah.
I would just kind of like associate it sort of like with that friend group, but I wasn't like super close with anybody. And then once E3 was like
don't know
around the
that.
corner, we were all, that was like the thing that we bonded over because I mean
That's so stupid.
it's like probably one of the most exciting times of the year if you like video games, or at least it used to when it would actually
It used
run.
to. Now it's just
It
a
is.
reminder. Actually, I missed that era. It was kind of fun.
I do.
It was hype too.
I think E3 was super fun.
It was fun. I kind of miss it. It was like, and they have all the different like shows they do. They have like the EA one that was boring, the Ubisoft
Yep.
one that also sucked.
Yeah, there was always, that was part of the culture, is you knew every year that the EA ones, the Ubisoft ones, they were just gonna be terrible. There was gonna be some memes that came out of it because they were so bad, and then you'd move on to PlayStation, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and those were the real days of E3. That was when stuff happened.
Yeah, because they'd show all these games, right? And you're like, oh, that's sick. Like this is an awesome like presentation. And then you find out 90% of them are releasing on PlayStation also, and it's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
The way they present it.
Yep, that was common. And like half the exclusives that they did have, they ended up like getting canceled and stuff
Or-
like that.
Yeah, or they sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was up with all the cancellations? I remember that.
Because
Microsoft was, I guess they were going through a difficult time for a little while. I don't know what happened, but a lot of games were either slow to come out in Microsoft or they just didn't come out ever. And it's so sad because some of them looked really promising, but I guess it didn't work out.
Has the new Perfect Dark not came out yet?
No, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's scheduled for a release next year, I think. See
Jesus,
we
if
can
that's
look this up.
if that's good, I might buy an Xbox. That's the only thing that can get me to buy one. If
Yeah,
that's
is
good.
it exclusive for the new Xbox?
I would assume so. I don't know. I don't have an Xbox like One or any of that, so I'm like,
Oh, you don't have
What
one.
about Series X?
Oh, eh?
nah. Well, I mean, like, because I haven't really had that much reason to get one.
Hmm.
So like, because like, what would I play on it realistically?
Fair enough.
Games.
The only
Like-
thing that Xbox has really got going for it these days is Game Pass, and even then, most like it's appealing because it's a good deal. Most of those games you can get on other platforms.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see that, but I don't know. I have enough games. I don't care about the Game Pass. I don't know. I'm just
We
like,
do have a lot
what
of
games
games.
are on the Xbox One? There's like Rare Replay, I guess, which like I think I have like half of those games anyways.
I know that's like most of those aren't even Microsoft games.
They're
They
all
just
on, like
technically own them.
N64. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had Elden Ring.
Isn't Elden Ring on PlayStation
Well,
also?
Elden Ring is multi-platform though, so you can play that on all
true.
consoles.
I just mean like okay,
Um,
games that are like
Oh, you mean exclusive?
like
though.
not on
yeah.
PS. Yeah, not on PS4 or Switch is what I mean. There's like not that
Yeah.
many. There's like Halo 5, like I guess.
Yeah.
Bro, what about Xbox Fitness, guys? Come on.
Oh, we gotta get Xbox Fitness. You gotta get into Xbox Fitness.
Xbox Fitness.
You know, though, Hideo Kojima's like, he's making like that new horror game, and I think that's set to be an Xbox exclusive, which is which is cool. I think that's promising.
I do like horror.
Actually, okay,
you.
just remember, have you played Silent Hill 2?
I've not played Silent Hill 2,
I
the
haven't.
remake or the original. I haven't
Like,
played either.
okay.
But I'm just curious.
Okay, I was because I'm curious about playing it, but I don't know if I should play like the OG version or like the new one.
The new version? Well,
Yeah.
if anyone is listening who has played Silent Hill 2, either version, maybe you can make a recommendation, I guess.
Yeah, this is what I need to know.
Let us know in the comments below.
Because I don't know, it's like it's one of those games that's like I've heard for years is like this is one of the best like horror games like ever made.
Mhm.
So I'm like,
Damn.
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I gotta at the very least check it out at some point. I sort of, it's on my radar. I don't think I have like super the time to dedicate to playing to it right now, but
If
that's
I
the thing.
want
I
it
want
and he
to.
likes it, I'll get it.
It just
he
seems
did make
interesting. I
a
don't
like
know.
a 10-minute video about it. So I mean,
Oh,
I guess he enjoyed it. It seemed like he enjoyed it.
Wait, who made video? Sorry.
maybe.
Donkey.
Oh,
yeah.
Donkey. I haven't
The
seen
most
that video.
trusted source for gaming reviews.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I find it interesting though, if we backpedal a bit, that Daniel was the person that pretty much got us to know each other.
Yeah, I think it was more or
Each
less
this is weird, bro.
Daniel. I think, yeah.
And then he just vanished
I wasn't
after
even
that.
Yeah.
that close friends with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we were good friends and we hung out with him at school and that type of stuff, but I mean,
That was pretty much
other
it,
than
though.
that, it was pretty much it. So when he left school, because Daniel would eventually, like, he moved away when we were still in elementary school, that was more or less it. We kind of lost, contact with him, especially because, I mean, at the time we were just kids. So I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
you're as a kid, you more or less you hang out with the people who you're at school with, or who's in your neighborhood, or who's in your family. You don't like have the ability to stay in contact with people really outside of that
Yeah.
very much as a kid. So
Well, he was
Yeah.
gone by what was it, grade 6, 4,
After 6, I think.
6?
Or in the middle of 6, maybe.
I don't know. It was like a long time ago.
yeah, it's honestly
Oh, he
too hard
didn't
to
finish
remember.
6, I
But
remember.
he didn't make it to
Here,
the
at
end.
least.
No.
I don't think he did.
Because I remember Mr. Ruth, which was my teacher.
All right,
He was like, "Oh, Daniel's keeping up with us on Edmodo, even though he's in a different school." Remember Edmodo?
Shout out to Edmodo. That's a classic. Wow,
okay.
I haven't thought about that for a while.
if we ever meet this guy again somehow, he's got to be like a guest on this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He watches it somehow. If the universe connects us.
If that somehow
Uh-huh.
happens, I would find it hard to believe that could ever happen. But if it does, I think he moved. Like, actually, I don't want to talk about where this guy moved. I don't
No
want to
idea.
dox him on her. But
Yeah, let's not do that. Just in case. Just in case.
um,
Let's not reveal too much information.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, do you remember that one time I sent you the picture of this? I was reading like a manga, and there's this guy.
Yeah.
The guy looked like him.
Yeah. It was like, yeah.
Wait, hold on.
It
Let me
was
see.
really like a Daniel-esque.
Let
manga.
people know the manga, and if it's like a
Slam
specific
dunk.
character, like a named character. Is it
Okay,
a named
wait.
character?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Can I? Wait. I want to show you the picture. Wait.
I'll put a picture up in the editing.
Sure,
Okay,
sure. I was gonna say, if
I'll
anything, we gotta show people, so that way you can know who this guy looked like.
Okay, wait. Oh, okay, it's like far. Hold on. Oh, here it is. This was him, bro. This was him.
You can post it in the Discord.
Oh, you know, I should do that. That's a better idea. I was gonna individually send it to him.
Okay, you know what? He does a little. That's
That's
true.
him, bro.
The hair is maybe a little exaggerated, but generally speaking, yeah, that was him.
That's this giant dude, bro.
It's like a cross between Daniel and Etika.
Yeah, with
Oh,
the
'cause
flat
the
top
hair.
and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true. Wow.
But I do remember his hair went kind of up a little bit.
A little bit.
I think because he was growing it out, it kind of went that way. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was like kind of spiky. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah, so long ago, man.
We
I
didn't
understand.
really
That
use
guy
social
was
media
fun.
back then either.
That guy
No,
wouldn't have kept
none
up
of
with
us did. Yeah. That's something that I think it's probably a little bit more common these days, and kids probably can stay in contact with each other even across long distances. But for us as kids, that wasn't really as much of a thing yet. Maybe for some kids,
More
but
pure times.
yeah, that is true.
Less
Or
brain rot.
Yeah, before the brain rot settled in and affected everyone, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you guys use
Yeah, no.
TikTok and stuff like that?
Don't have it.
Yeah, no,
I don't
I don't
either.
use TikTok either.
I like never could into it.
YouTube Shorts though, I'll scroll sometimes.
I'll do the same thing. I use shorts. I'll look at Instagram Reels on occasion. I don't mind short form content and that type of thing. I
Well-
just never bothered to properly download TikTok because I was just like, it's another thing, I don't want to use something new. Yeah, if I'm gonna sit down and actually watch YouTube, I'm probably gonna sit down and look at some long form content or something like that, like
Same.
a podcast or a video in a series that I properly enjoy. If I'm gonna actually dedicate time to do it.
Feel
You know,
that.
but shorts make a lot of money for people.
Is that
Really
true? I've actually heard that. I've heard the opposite, where it's shorts. They aren't that financially viable, but they do good numbers. That's what
Yeah,
I've
numbers
heard. It's
and-
it's
that makes
good
sense.
for
Get so many views.
exposure.
All right, guys, we're gonna make some shorts of our podcast.
For real, we gotta edit our stuff down, put it up there.
Gotta edit that.
That's how we get big,
Yeah.
man. That's the ticket to fame.
We gotta do what they do, like that content style where it's just the video's on top and then the bottom half of the screen is just Subway Surfers gameplay.
True.
Or like
True.
GTA mod where they're in the, the GTA mod where it's the car and there's a weird path. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And it's
I've seen
in
that.
the sky for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how that is in there, but that.
Yep.
Attention span.
Oh boy. Yep. It's crazy how short people's attention spans are these days, but I guess that's just how how content is moving towards.
So I have this.
I
I
watched
have
this YouTube short once where they were actually talking about something, and they had gameplay at the bottom half of the screen, and then the people in the video just started watching the bottom half of the screen. Wait, oh, this is some pretty good gameplay.
For real. This guy actually
They
pretty good.
broke the fourth wall.
See, okay, I have this dilemma with this. Okay, so my attention span is bad. Okay, but then
Okay.
I sit there and watch movies that are super long and super slow, and it just doesn't go well. Does not go well.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it,
You're a mixed bag.
why has this happened?
Yeah,
One time,
sometimes you're up for that type of thing, sometimes you're not.
One time I watched this movie called Satan Tango. It's like a Hungarian film that's black and white, and it's 7.5 hours.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And it's it's the slowest movie ever made. I didn't like it, but that was that's the anti TikTok, I guess, if that makes sense.
That is the anti-TikTok. That is on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that was bad. I had to wake up. Okay, dude, it was one of those things where I was okay, that I was all right, I want to watch this, but I gotta plan out a day.
Yeah.
That's how it's that long. I'm just I had a day off once. I'm okay, it's morning. I'm we're gonna do this. I had to do it in the morning. It was bad. I was there till
Wow.
probably 4:00.
Damn.
That's crazy. I could not be
That actually
bothered
is
to
insane.
put that amount of effort and time into. I mean, just about anything. If I'm being honest,
It
any
wasn't
form
even.
of
It
content
sucked.
that's too much of a commitment.
What about sleeping, Josh? You need to put that amount of time into sleeping.
No, we don't.
Okay, well, things like sleeping, I need me even more than that for terms of sleep. Give me my 8.5 hours.
I'd be lucky for that. That'd be a miracle.
Yeah, that would be a miracle for you.
The Christmas
Hey,
miracle.
for those who don't know, I don't sleep. I have trouble sleeping. Genetically.
Oh, do you
Most I
actually
can
like?
get is 5 hours, 4 hours. But then I still feel like energized enough.
I can usually get
as long
away
as-
with like 6 hours, but yeah,
How many hours, Josh?
like 6. I
Six
can get
is
by
good.
with 6. I can get by with
Yeah.
6. I never said it'd be. It's like the best, but like.
Yeah.
But what are your guys' overall thoughts of just like long, really long movies? What do you think of them?
I hate them. Seen too many.
You hate them?
Not for you.
No,
You
because
know,
I've watched like I've seen like probably 10 movies over 4 hours long, and
Yeah.
I only liked like maybe 2 of them.
What's your limit? Like 3.5 hours?
Probably like 4 hours. That's like
4
Okay.
hours.
if you go longer than that, I don't know. That's when I'm like, I don't know.
It's like this is barely a movie
Yeah,
at
I've
this
seen-
point. Just too
Well,
long
'cause-
form.
Well, the problem is like, okay, there's like I've seen a few. The problem is a lot of them when they're that long, okay. Those hours end up not being like a packed hours. Like, okay, you know when you watch like Lord of the Rings, the whole movie is like front to end, like there's so much happening. There's a lot of characters and stuff.
Hmm.
It's most of the movies when they're over like that, like 3.5 hours. Like when I say let's 4 hours, when they're above 4 hours long, when it's happening, a lot of the time they end up being like very like slow. And it's like
Yep.
that's why it takes so long, because the shot lasts like a minute per shot,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh god. Or this, I don't know.
Scenes last longer and everything.
Hmm.
I've seen a few. I've seen some Italian movie called. It was called like Best of Youth. It was like 6 hours long.
Oh wow.
Recently I watched Once Upon a Time in America, and that's like 4 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh my god, that I actually want to watch that, but like it's one of those things where I'm like, I gotta find the day.
I finally did it because my great uncle was like, "We're gonna watch this today at the family gathering," so it was just on the whole time.
Legend. Did you like it?
I was invested. I actually really liked it.
Oh, that's
Because
good.
the start of the movie takes place near what happens in the later half of the movie, so you gotta like remember, oh, this is what happened, and it's like it all connects. I can't spoil much, but it's pretty cool how they portray what happens in the
Okay.
story.
Okay, I'll have to watch it at some point.
Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough.
There-
Yeah, I'll check it out.
There
too.
was this one I like though. It's called like An Elephant Sitting Still. It's like, I think it's like 3 hours and like 50 something minutes.
Is it of an
okay.
elephant sitting still?
No, it's not that. It's like it's
Are you sure?
basically these like people from like China who are like depressed, and they've basically lost like all hope. And the only
Oh,
thing that's
man.
keeping them like going is there's this elephant in this zoo that doesn't move, and they think for some reason they think it will like fix their problems.
Oh.
So then
that's
these like
interesting.
people, they go to try to find the elephant. It's a very interesting movie. It's pretty slow. That like it's very like, I guess like contemplative. If that makes sense.
Sounds
Right.
like a movie we would make.
It was interesting. I wouldn't say it's for everybody. It's very depressing too.
Right.
But it's good. It's got good music too.
That's good. Interesting. Does it take place in like modern China, or is it like a
Yeah.
historic movie? Right.
It's like modern day. It's pretty. It's
Yeah.
from like 2018. The movie. It's pretty good.
Okay. Interesting.
They really talk about the elephant in the room.
The elephant.
No kidding. That movie is all about the elephant in the room. Listen.
I don't know how we get to the subject of like long movies, but I'm not
Hey,
complaining.
it's an interesting topic.
It is. I wanna
Yeah.
like. Okay, there's part of me that wants to watch like the longest like movie ever made. When I say longest,
Do you
I don't
know
mean
what
like
is the longest movie?
Life.
Well, I mean okay. I mean like the longest like narrative like actual movie. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So
Where
not
it's
like,
like
a
an actual
documentary?
story. No, because I know there's like a video where it's like it's like the actual longest movie, and it's just like 30 hours of like a cargo ship. But like that doesn't really count to me.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, no, we're talking about fictional stuff. Yeah.
No, man, I'm invested in that cargo ship. Leave me alone.
Is that peak art? That's peak cinema right there. Okay, is the 30-hour cargo ship documentary. You can't call yourselves masters of the craft, masters of film. You haven't appreciated the culture until you've watched a 30-hour cargo shipping documentary.
I don't mind the idea of long movies. Which, okay, to be fair, I think that some of them just kind of work better as, like, just make it a series at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But, there was this, like, one guy, it's just, like, I think his name is, like, Lav Diaz or something. And the guy makes, like, really long movies. Like, all of them are, like, over 5 hours, mostly.
Wow.
And the guy, I've listened to, like, interviews of the guy, and he's basically like, we shouldn't define cinema as, like, length, right? Like, he's like, short films should just be films, not, like, categories. Like, short films or, like, long movies should also be able to be movies. And his reasoning is, like, the whole, like, limiting a movie to, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours is very, like, corporate-y. Because they're like, well, we have to fit as many into the, like, movie theater as possible to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of, like, anti, like, art. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. Am I going to watch it, though? Your movies, I don't know.
I'm not going to watch it.
It is a tough sell, and that's why I do think that most movies aren't, like 3+ hours long, because most people don't have the time or the energy to want to sit and watch a movie for that long. But I do agree with you, Josh, that it can be good. I don't dislike the idea of it, but it's just important to make sure, I think, a lot of the time when you are making a movie that's that long, that there has to be, like, a captivating, relevant reason for it to be that long. Like, if scenes just are never ending for the sake of more or less, it's like it's never ending. Like, it's just basically the director just wants the characters to keep talking, but it's not really doing much to, like, progress the plot or, really streamline the narrative or anything like that, then it's like, well, what's really the benefit of it being, like, 4 hours
super
long and that type of thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, there's not that many movies that are that long, luckily.
Well, yeah, it's like saying, oh, would you rather read a really long book where it actually has, sustenance and it progresses, or the dictionary?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think, okay, there's a couple things. I think, like, I've noticed that, like, really long movies, they tend to be, like, critically acclaimed. It might be some kind of, like, Stockholm syndrome, but it's like, if you're gonna watch a movie that's, like, 5 hours long, it better be good. Like,
absolutely, it's got to be worth your time. Otherwise, it's like at that point, it's just like a joke. Like, are you kidding me? This is 5 hours of nonsense.
Yeah. All right, real talk. When are we gonna watch a 10-hour movie?
Jesus. We gotta lock in. We gotta find out what is the longest movie that, like, isn't what's it called? That isn't a documentary. We gotta figure it out, and then for a future episode, we'll all watch it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Is what we should do.
That's a challenge.
Do you actually want to do that?
I don't.
In a future episode. Emphasis on the word future, but we could do it. We could do it. Why not? Let's figure out what's going on.
Okay, so I think I found it.
Okay, what is it? What does it say?
Okay, there's a movie called La Flor. I don't know. It's like
It's
like FLOR. It's like a Argentina movie. So it's 13 hours and 23 minutes.
Ooh, okay. That's a commitment. That's basically like watching a show.
Pretty much.
It's like a 14 episode show or something like that.
So it's apparently the third longest non-experimental film. The other two that were above it were like documentaries.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe we'll try watching that in a future episode. Why not?
But the movie is broken into like 6 separate stories that happen. So it's kind of
So
like
it's
a
more
show.
like it'll be like 6 different movies. I would
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, basic. Okay, wait. So then what's like the longest not that then?
Oh, it's just a compilation.
Okay, there's another film called Out One that's 12 hours and 55. Who is making these?
That just like I imagine it has to cost a ton of money, and it also
Yeah, what
just
is the
probably takes
budget
a
for
ton
that?
of time to make a movie that's 12 hours
Bro.
long.
Dude, we got a French movie called Out One. It's almost 13 hours from the 70s. Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Wow.
What? It's a mystery. Ooh.
Is there any English in it, or is it just French?
It's probably just French. Well, the other one's Argentina, so it's like what, Spanish?
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I imagine
we're not getting
Argentina,
English either,
Portuguese.
bro. Are they Portuguese? Oh, okay. I don't really know.
I don't know.
Well, actually, I think they're Spanish. Portuguese is like Brazil. I mean, it could be both. I don't know.
I think, yeah, no, you're right. It's that Spanish is used almost for the entire population. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I know most of
Sounds
South
like
America
Robert
is
De Niro.
Spanish, but
Robert De Niro is a fill-in for that movie you mentioned, Josh.
Wait, he's in.
He's a fill-in for that Argentinian one.
Robert De Niro?
Yeah. I'm joking.
that kind of makes sense.
What?
No wonder
okay,
it's so
I'm
long,
joking.
quite
I
frankly.
thought you were talking about Once Upon a Time in America. I was like, I know he's in that. He's in that,
No,
right?
I was like, nope, the other movie. But yeah, he's in the other movie. The Once Upon a Time in America.
That's crazy. I feel like every movie that De Niro's in is like 3 hours long at minimum. It feels that way a lot.
Oh, isn't it like so Irishman that's like 3.5 hours?
Yep. That one,
that came out
how
too.
long is it? But
I think it's that one.
it was
I've
super long. It was famously super long. I never got around to watching it because it seemed too long. I heard really good things about it, but I was like, I
the length.
can't find the time to commit to that.
I've seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I know that was like 3.5 hours.
I watched that movie too, actually,
That one's pretty good.
and
Was Joe
I think it
Pesci
was
in
pretty
The
good.
Irishman?
Sam, what did you say?
Was Joe Pesci in The Irishman or whatever?
I think so.
I think he was.
This is him and
Irish.
Al Pacino, right? We're both in it.
Yeah, looking at the
they
cast,
were.
yeah, he's in it.
Okay.
All of them are in it. Yeah,
All the goats.
it's a standard affair here. Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, all of these guys. Yeah,
They all come
classics.
together.
The goats.
The goats. The goats. What was another?
Yeah, maybe
really
we'll
good
have to watch. We'll maybe watch some of these movies in a future episode, and we can talk about it.
Some
So
of
that
them-
way
yeah,
we can see what's going on. Why are these movies 12 hours long?
What is going on?
What is
Why
going
it so
on?
long? This is another bad one. So one time, I watched this movie called Napoleon from like 1927, and
Okay,
it was
old
like
movie, yeah.
it was 5 hours long.
Wow.
Jeez. For
Yeah.
1927?
Yeah, it's like a silent movie.
I guess there was no like stipulation for how long a movie should be back then.
They're
I
still
guess
figuring
not.
stuff out.
So okay, well apparently, when I say it's 5 hours, I mean that's like of what they have. Like that's like the one of the cuts. There's apparently a
Oh.
7-hour version that's like out there that like I don't know how to watch
Oh my
it.
gosh.
And then they found even more footage of this movie, and it's apparently like over 9 hours.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
When you mentioned multiple versions, I thought they were going to be shorter.
No, they're longer and longer because they keep finding more and more footage of this movie.
Oh yeah, here's the other 2 hours over there.
Oh, we found an extra
Just
hour of
never
this.
ends.
Like, how long could it be?
I mean, Napoleon did live a really interesting life, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just
So-
him as a person. So,
My problem with the movie though is it's like okay, it's 5 hours, but it's literally just like battles almost the entire time.
over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't I,
Non-stop
like.
action.
I can't tell what's happening at certain points.
Yeah, that probably doesn't help considering it's a movie that was made in, 1927. You're probably like, I guess they're fighting, I guess.
They're like fighting, and there's parts where they're like arguing in court,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's not really like the text that much, so you just have to
Mhm.
guess like what they're arguing about.
Right, so yeah, you gotta do a lot of the filling in the blanks on your own.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
that was a day.
Yeah. I imagine that would be pretty frustrating for like a movie that's, 5 hours long to be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and you have to sort of figure out what's going on for the most part by yourself. By the way, it's like, okay, great, this will be fun.
Yep. This is why I have an issue with movies over 4 hours, man. Once they hit the over 4 hour mark, it becomes a problem, man.
Yeah,
I
no.
suppose there was some kind of entertainment 100 years ago for just fighting without reason
So
on
okay,
a screen.
from what I know, the movies like they had a lot of like techniques that were like really unique.
That's cool.
Okay.
So
Like
that's
what?
kind of why it's like people like it. So there's like one point where they hook up a camera onto like a something, and they literally it's just swinging around the room filming.
Oh my lord. It's like a makeshift dolly.
Yeah, they're like swinging it back and forth while there's like a fight going on or something. And then there's like another point where they have 3 screens like side by side, so it's like a super long like screen happening of like this
Damn.
fight happening. And it's like really like unique. So they had like ultra widescreen back in like the 20s. And that was like the only movie that ever did that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's kind of cool then. You can see why it's important
Yeah.
historically,
But like
I guess. But
like watching it though, I don't know.
yeah, is it still worthwhile to watch today? You know, like, yeah. All right, well, I
Even
think
though we're on the topic of movies,
sure,
we should switch over to games, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because
So,
I want to talk about the Switch too.
all right,
Yes, sir.
I think the most
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt
Interest.
you, Josh. What were you going to say?
me. Sorry.
What were you? Yeah, you.
Yeah, I was just say I think it's the most interesting bit of like news or upcoming like thing that's happening for Nintendo fans at the moment. So
Oh,
it
I
should
read
be
your
interesting
mind.
to talk about. I think.
Yes, sir. It's like
Okay,
the
well-
only good news from gaming right now. Actually, that's not true, but
There's
Well,
some
no,
interesting things coming out, but I think it's definitely the thing that I think like has the most promise, the most potential, because
yeah.
I mean the Switch was a really big turnaround for Nintendo as a company. Like they really went hard during that era, and we got some of the best games that Nintendo has ever produced during that console's lifetime. So it begs the question, you know, what's going to happen with Switch 2?
Well, I'm really glad they have backwards compatibility, because like you can't get the Switch library is so good. To get rid
It
of
is
all
great.
that to me would be like such a waste.
If they did confirm backwards compatibility, which was to be expected with the Switch follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank God though.
They knew how successful the Switch games were, so they're like, yeah, let's just continue sales.
It's
yeah,
such a
it would
bro.
it would be totally against their own interest to get rid of all that library.
Yeah, because they built up such a like massive amount of like catalog of games.
And of great games too, and games that still continue to sell every year.
Yeah, I'd argue the Switch probably has the best like lineup of games on a Nintendo console, like overall.
I think so
It's
too.
very solid.
In most of Nintendo's franchises, we'll definitely emphasize most of them. There is a goated entry in like each of the like big Nintendo franchises for the most part.
Yeah.
There are a few that are notably vacant, or they did get titles that just weren't as good.
Does there ever no Star Fox Zero didn't come to Switch, right?
I don't know if it's on Switch or not. You know, I
don't
think
know.
it,
I don't think it is.
I don't think so. It's one of like the 2 Wii U games that never made its way over.
Don't count it out though, because randomly Xenoblade Chronicles X got ported.
That's true. But
That
like,
is
I don't know,
true.
Star Fox,
It got dropped out of nowhere.
but Star Fox Zero though, like, don't people like? No one likes that game. I don't think.
Yeah, it's
Didn't
not.
the gamepad to play a big part of it too?
Yep, that is true. So it'd be kind of hard to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
They could do it without the cockpit view, and you just have to use the the gyro controls using the Joy-Cons and that type of stuff. But at that point, that's just like it's kind of a novel concept to do it with the Wii U, because you do have the cockpit view with the gamepad. But on Switch, it'd just be like, this game is the most nauseating thing of all time, and for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah. So, first of all, when do you guys think that this thing is coming out? Let's place our bets now. What do we
I'm
think?
thinking either late 2025 or early 2026.
I think it's the safest answer, but I think it makes sense. I think it'll probably be this fall. Is my guess.
The upcoming, I agree with that. I think
Upcoming
like
fall.
November 2025 probably.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I could
It's
see
like
that.
October or November of 2025.
Around Christmas season too,
Yep.
they get more sales.
Yep.
They'll probably announce
Black
it.
Friday.
They'll probably announce it near the beginning of next year.
That's what I think as well. I think they said
First
that it was going to
quarter.
be done before like the what's it? It was like by the first fiscal or it'd be done before the start of the new fiscal year. So I think for Nintendo, their like fiscal year it starts in March or April or something like that. I don't know much about business. I don't know how it works, but I remember somebody saying that we should get some look at the Switch before like March of next year or something, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think so too, because they probably don't want to have like announcing it before Christmas,
Mhm.
right? But then afterwards, it's like fair game, right? I think so.
Yep.
It makes sense to me.
Yep, nope, that just seems like good business to me. You don't want to detract from the games that you're currently selling.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just
I'm
hope
curious.
it's more powerful than the PS4.
yeah, like what do you guys hope
It is gonna be
like in
powerful.
the Switch? Like what do you hope is in the machine?
Mm.
I think better
Yeah,
hardware is the
like
most
specs.
obvious answer.
Yeah. Definitely power because yeah, it's my problem with the current Switch is that when they're making remakes now, like TTYD, Thousand Year Door, looked beautiful. And it had new content, but it ran at 30 FPS because
Yeah.
it couldn't do 60 with what was in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I touched on this with you guys before, but what I think is going to happen is with some of this current Switch games coming out, like this year, maybe last year, that have the capability to do this, is they can switch over from 30 FPS and on the new Switch go to 60 FPS because it was found in the coding. There was a bit of a leak where in Thousand Year Door, the remake, there's like you can play it in 60 FPS, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not
not able
impossible.
to be played that way.
Yeah, so they
Yet,
might patch
yeah.
that.
They probably will. Yeah. Switch to enhanced.
Yeah, enhanced ports. There are a lot of games that I think would totally benefit from an FPS upgrade, or even if they could, just like a slight visual upgrade, it would be great.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think it got a lot of, like, I think people talking about it when it first came out, but when Tears of the Kingdom released, it was definitely noticeable that it looked more or less the same as Breath of the Wild, which at that point was like a 6-year game, or like 6-year-old game or something like that.
6 years old, man.
And so it's kind of like, okay, you know what, like, I this game did definitely improve on the original in a lot of ways, but it's just like it doesn't feel as new because it doesn't have that same like visual upgrade that I think a lot of people expect when it comes to any type of like major sequel or something like that. So I hope that by the time we get to Switch 2, we can get visuals that seem very much so like current gen, because Nintendo's always been like a generation or two behind in most of their consoles in terms of graphics ever since the Wii, and it suited them well because they can make cheap consoles. But at the same time, we've gotten to a point with the Switch now where this machine is like, it's almost like, what is it, 7 years old?
Yeah, it's like really
Like
old.
7.5.
Yeah, so it's like that. This thing has been out for a while. I think at this point we can afford to make some pretty good technology in a small unit and make it like at an affordable price.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nintendo's never really suffered in like how the how good their games were. Like they've always made great games. It's just been the power, really,
Yeah.
that we haven't had.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's like it's not even like a graphics thing at this point. It's just like just make everything run better.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because they've
Like,
always
visuals
found.
can be improved.
Yeah, like I think that like Nintendo, they've always done like they, especially in recent years, they've done a great job of like making sure that their art styles are really appealing and stuff like that. So it doesn't really, you don't focus on the graphical quality too much, but in a lot of their more demanding games, like there are performance issues, you know. So just having a machine that can hopefully correct that and have like these games, even if they're not like, you know, super great graphical fidelity, if they can have like a consistent frame rate in busy areas, that would do like so much to making it feel like an authentic modern experience instead of like a bit of old hardware or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to what's coming. You know,
it's interesting.
There's a lot of unknown.
There
that
is
just leads
still
to
a lot
more
unknown.
anticipation.
Are you guys gonna get it like right away when it comes out?
Well,
I am. I
Yeah.
don't know about Josh.
I probably will too. I mean,
I think-
we have to see what it is when it comes out, but most likely.
I'm interested to see exactly what it is and how much it costs and like what games are going to be on it, because to me I feel like you know, if it's the Switch 2 is more or less just like a technical upgrade and it costs like a bunch of money out the gate, then I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll wait because there's nothing super appealing or interesting about it immediately. Like it's more or less does what my current Switch can do.
Yeah.
Especially if the first like few games are on both platforms, which I have a feeling they will be.
Metroid Prime probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Dude, if they have like a new Mario game right away, dude, day
Yes.
one, bro. I don't care. bro.
Odyssey 2 would be crazy, by the way. As
Odyssey
a
2,
launch
yeah.
Title.
What if they did
Odyssey
like
2 would be
Mario,
brilliant.
like Mario, like they did Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey. Would be like the next like Mario.
Idea that they can go for.
They
I
might
don't
do
know.
something new, you know. Because they seem to do something unique for each console. Like Galaxy 2 was only on the Wii because Galaxy 1 was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what'd be cool? Like a Mario. You know, like Sonic Generations.
Oh.
Yeah.
That, but like Mario. Like imagine
Yeah.
Mario has to adventure through like all the different like games.
That would be fun. And it'd be a great way to celebrate Nintendo's history.
You could even like have like he's in like the Paper Mario world and he's jumping around and doing stuff or whatever.
That'd
Like
be cool.
any of the like I don't know. I was trying to think of like what's like a like Mario in different dimensions, the
Yeah,
multiverse.
the Mario multiverse.
Yeah.
The multiverse era for Mario. Oh, wow. That would be a sight to behold, but it sucks because
Super Mario Multiverse actually works as a name too.
multiverse.
Super
Yeah, no,
Mario.
it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Or we do Super Mario like garbage or something. Like so instead of cleaning, you have to make everything disgusting.
You have to make everything dirty this time. True
Yeah.
genius. We're really flipping the switch on this one.
I think so.
So what would that be? Sunshine? The opposite would be shit show.
Shit show. Super Mario Brothers shit show. I would buy that. Are you kidding me? It just sounds like shit, looks like shit, plays like shit.
But we know you motherfuckers will buy it.
Yep, and you know what? People would. People would.
Probably.
I'm curious, do you guys think, realistically, will the next Mario game... I do think that, at the very least, if it's not a launch title on the Switch 2, it'll come out pretty early, because Mario's always what makes a Nintendo system sell. But do you guys think it will be... it'll be like Mario Odyssey 2, or do you think that it'll be something new?
I kind of
I'm
want it to be
thinking
something
new.
new.
Yeah, you think something new? Why?
Because like, think about the Switch. The first, you know, when Switch came out, what Mario games did we have? We had ports. We had Mario Kart 8, you know, and then like the first big new Mario game, it was different. Same for the Wii. Same for the GameCube. You know, I'm just going based off of patterns. I would be fine with either though. Like I love Mario either way.
Yeah, same. I would prefer honestly a new one over Odyssey 2, but I don't. If Odyssey 2 is what it is, I don't mind that either.
Yeah, I'm not going to be upset either way either. I feel like at this point, because we've had to wait so long, if it was just Mario Odyssey 2, I feel it'd be a little disappointing because it's like, you guys have had like, at that point it would be like basically 8 years or something like that to basically develop ideas for a follow-up to Mario Odyssey. And the fact that it took you like that long to get it out, it makes it feel a little less impactful. But I think that Mario Odyssey probably left a lot of ideas still on the table, because there was so many like new and creative ideas that were like introduced in every level. It makes me think that they could either, one, they could introduce a whole new array of new abilities, or two, they could focus predominantly on the same abilities from the first game, but develop a game that's a little bit more complex and difficult. I would love to see that. But I think at this point, because they've waited so long, whatever they're doing next with Mario, it has to be something different, and it has to be more ambitious. That's what I think anyways.
That's a good point, too.
I kind of hope they go back to, like, get the stars and the level thing. Because, like, it's been, like 14 years since Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had, like, here's 8 levels, go in it and, like, or whatever. Like, they haven't done that in so long.
It has been a long time since we've done that. I liked the old games where, like, it was that sort of format. It gave those games, like, a really, like, straightforward structure and that type of thing. But I really think that Mario Odyssey is, like, the epitome of what a modern Mario experience should be, in that it was, like, an open sort of level that you could, like, explore, and there's, like, little secrets and stuff everywhere to be found. There are, like, little mini challenges and that type of thing. So I think that it'll probably be more in line with that. I wouldn't mind, though, if it did go back to the old formula, because with, like, making levels like that, you could make the level change, like, each time you go back in, and you could, like, add new elements to it. So in some ways you can make it harder, more challenging by focusing on, like, new different objectives. Like, you can expand the map. You know, that was one of the great things about, like, Mario 64, in my opinion, was, you know, the first time you play a level, you might not even, like, realize all that the level has to offer, but, like, as you revisit it more, you, like, find new areas and stuff. It's cool.
That's the big thing I liked about Sunshine, is because you'd go into the same level, but it would start changing, and you'd have to, like, do different things inside of it.
That was always
cool. So, like, that I think is great, because you can add new, like, elements to the level as you go. So, like, you can increase, like, the level to a point where it can actually get, like, more challenging, or it's unique and different, and it's, like, a great way to get, like, the most out of something. But Mario Odyssey
with the difficulty rise.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
But I don't think Mario Odyssey was, like, definitely wasn't one of the more challenging Mario games. It was definitely one of the more fun Mario games, because it was really kind of straightforward, and every time you turned a corner, there'd be, like, something new waiting for you to discover. And so it really gave you, like, that, like, childlike sense of wonder as you were exploring. So I kind of would like to see them experiment more with that aspect, or maybe if they could find, like, a way to do both somehow or something. I would be happy either way.
Yeah. The big thing about Odyssey is, like, I'm glad it kept the Mario tradition of just, like, oh, it's each level and world, and you go to each one, but it was open world in each level. Like, it wasn't completely linear. Like, once you get to a new place, you're free to do whatever.
Yeah.
Have either of you played Jak and Daxter?
I've never played Jak and Daxter.
Oh, you guys should play it. Like, the first one. It's like a collectathon. Yeah. It's like, in my opinion, that's the best, like, collectathon type game where you go around and get, like, the items.
Really? Banjo-Kazooie, man.
Yeah, even better than Banjo?
No. Bro, it's way better than Banjo. What?
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Banjo, bro, no, I don't want to hear about Banjo, man.
I haven't played either of those games. It's actually a little bit of Banjo.
It's a lot better than Banjo.
Yeah.
Banjo's just iconic for it. I guess I think it wouldn't be the best.
It's just, I think it's like, okay, Jak and Daxter was like a PS2 game, and Banjo was like a. Here's the thing with Jak and Daxter too. So, it was one of the, like, first games where the game basically had no loading screens. And there's this giant world you can go through. Yeah, and it's, like, all connected, and it's, like, really, like, unique.
Damn. Yeah,
so, like,
that's really innovative. You said that was on PS2, right? That was the when it came
out? It was like 2001 also when it came out.
Yeah, that's honestly really impressive. I'd be curious to see, like, what it looks like, because, I mean, visually, I feel like from what I've seen, it looks decently good too. So the fact that there's no loading screens, that's That's pretty wild, honestly.
Yeah,
That is pretty different, yeah.
it looks pretty good, I would say. I mean, the second and third game look a lot better. Those aren't collectathons, though. Here's like a GIF that only you two can see.
Yeah, I'll show the GIF.
Oh, that's like
Yeah,
kind
no,
of what
that's
it looks
pretty
like.
good, all things considered.
That's 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually decent,
Man.
good for graphics.
The PS2 was on another level, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is why Jak and Daxter is like probably it's one of the best PS2 games. I'd say it's the best out of like the. It's better than Ratchet and Clank.
Mm.
You'd say so?
Yeah, it's better. Those games I find are a bit like repetitive. Like they're good, but
Yeah.
they're kind of like the
I
same.
can see that.
I haven't played too many of those either. I've only played the more recent ones. I did always think that it was a shame that Jak and Daxter didn't have that same kind of longevity as some of the other PlayStation franchises, because from what I've heard, it's really good. So I think it deserves it. It just never got that love for whatever reason.
I think it's because Naughty Dog they wanted to move on to something else.
Yeah, I think that they just... Naughty Dog's doing different things now. Their resources are best used elsewhere, is I guess how they see it.
Well, okay, looking back now, I'm kind of okay with there just being like the 3 Jak and Daxters in like the
And that's
racing
it.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a PSP one and like another game that was like ass cheeks, but
Yeah.
the like main ones by Naughty Dog, it was a pretty good storyline they had in it, and I think like I don't know, it's kind of like they're just good. Like it's like we don't need more of them really. It kind of they like, exist, and it's like you can play them, and then like the franchise doesn't need to be ruined.
Yep. Yeah, just leave it as it is. Doesn't need to be touched. I just think that even something like a remaster, like some type of re-release would be great for these games.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on PS4. You can get them, but
Oh,
yeah,
really?
remaster
I
would
didn't
be
know
cool.
that.
Yeah, actually, do y'all
Yeah, no,
know
I'll have to
Mr.
get around to that at some
Mosquito?
point.
Mr. Mosquito's on PS4.
Mr. Mosquito.
Mr. Mosquito.
I keep forgetting to buy that on PS4.
Everyone needs to get Mr. Mosquito.
Everybody, old
And
Jeez.
Ribbit King.
and
For a
Ribbit
good
King.
price.
Okay, well, we're gonna do a whole podcast of Ribbit King.
Just talking about River King. Absolutely.
That's like a 3
We'll do like a
hour
live stream of us like playing it.
Yeah.
It'll be like game footage and we're talking.
Ribbit King, man. Yeah, you know which game I actually like too? Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah, those are pretty.
I've
I remember
seen that in person and I was like, oh my god, it's Josh's game.
like the YouTube videos back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever associate Sly Cooper with anyone else.
I don't.
That
Okay,
is like etched into my memory.
I don't remember if I talked about that series like that much. But like, dude, I had like an era where I was like super into those.
I remember
You're also
that.
just the only person I know that mentions that game.
Bro, dude, I played all 3 of those games. I beat all of them, man. They were like, I really liked them. I don't know, it was like
Yeah.
fun. There's like these animal guys, and like you'd sneak around, and there was like boss battles and stuff, and it was.
I
like,
mean,
like
the
an adventure
aesthetic
game,
seems
right?
great. It seems almost like it's like a classic like Disney movie or like something like that with like the animals
A little
as
bit,
themes
yeah.
and you know all that. It's like it does seem like really fun.
Have you played Infamous?
Yeah. I only played the one on PS4 because that was the first time that I ever owned a PlayStation console. So,
The PS4.
but I did quite enjoy that game. And I've heard that the other ones are like even better than the one that I played. So I'm like, you know what? That's pretty sweet. I got to check them. I got to play through them all sometime.
Are they on
Yeah,
PS4?
same.
Infamous 1 and 2, I actually don't know. The answer
Okay.
I don't think so because at the time when I played the original Infamous, like what's it called? Infamous Second Son. When I played that for the PlayStation 4, I got really invested in the franchise. So I wanted to check out the old ones, but I remember that I couldn't. So if they are like able
Damn,
to
they
be
better
played
be.
now,
They better be ported by now, bro. Those are really good though. I don't. That's weird.
yeah,
if they're
no,
not.
those are all good games. So I feel like it'd be a shame if they aren't available yet because I feel like it's kind of sucks if that franchise has just been like left on the shelf for as long as it has been.
That's kind of my problem with PlayStation. I notice is their studios. They make it like, all right, here's an example here with Sucker Punch. It's like PS2. Okay, we're making Sly Cooper. Okay, PS3, Infamous. PS4, it's like, oh, Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Ghost of Tsushima, yeah.
And it's like every time they do the next, it's the same thing with Naughty Dog too.
Yep.
It's like their old series completely abandoned.
It's gone. Not even like associated with it anymore. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, okay.
Like they just move on. Like it's like they had Crash and then Jack and Daxter, and then Uncharted, and then now it's like Last of Us. It's like, bro, what? Stop.
Like, can we? Like you don't gotta leave everything behind in order to, like you can at least re-release these games. They're good games.
Well, I think they re-release them, but
Sure, they like some of them are definitely re-released, but I still think that, especially from like the PS3, Xbox 360 era, there are a lot of good games that are still locked to those consoles that I would love to see ported.
oh my god, that's a conversation.
Yeah, that would maybe be something best to get into
Oh my
for
God.
its own time. It's a topic worthy of its own discussion, but I mean, yeah, no, it's a shame that you see like a lot of these franchises that continue to have potential and have a dedicated fan base, but the studio is just like, but Last of Us is selling better, and we can make a TV show. So
You
this
know
is
what
what
makes
we
Sound
make
of money.
now.
You know what makes me kind of
Yep.
sad is there's so many like games that are stuck on old consoles that no one can play. Like, okay, I know there's like Ribbit King with us. It's like a thing, but like, okay, even besides that, like, there's like tons of like old like PS2 and like Xbox games and like even and like GameCube games that like no one can play anymore. And I'm like, they're so good. I'm like, these are some of the best games I've ever played. Stuck. They're like, you can't
Yep.
play them unless you
Yep.
spend like $100. It's so stupid.
Yeah, no, and it's super annoying too because there are so many great games that are like locked to older generation of consoles, and then companies will still get mad when players like pirate old games, and it's like, well, you got to make the product available for people to buy and make it for like a reasonable price, and then you don't have to worry about any of that. You know, I think in a lot of instances where people are driven to be like pirates or to get games through like emulators and stuff like that, it's only because there's not really a way for them to realistically get those same games like on modern
A lot of
hardware.
it's just too expensive, or like it's just too unavailable because it was like on a fucking online shop that's no longer selling it.
Yep.
Well, because like,
E-shops.
oh my god, that too, yeah. Well, like, okay, like, I would have no reason to emulate any game if I could just get them.
Yeah, no, 100%. You'd like, I think that's the case for a lot of people. Some people, I feel like, will always pirate stuff no matter what, just because, you know, it's the cheaper option. Like, I can understand it, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. But in a lot of cases, people just want to find a way to play the game. It doesn't matter if it's through an emulator or if they have to pay, you know, 10, 20, 30 bucks, however much it is, to get like a remaster of a game.
Yeah.
You know, it
Like-
just, yeah.
Like, they have, what's it called? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 getting,
Yes.
like, re-released now, but it's like, bro. You're telling me one of the most, like, famous fighting games, it takes, like, 24 years to re-release it?
Yep, it was gone for years. For years, nobody could play it.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
glad
bro.
that happened though.
It's, and the
I'd
thing
like to
that
never-
sucks, too, is it's the arcade version, so, that's, like, good mostly, but, like, all of the, like, extra content, like, the menus and stuff is gone.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's just, like,
Damn.
like, okay, plays better, yes, but, like, I don't really like how in the arcade versions of games, when they have them on console, it's literally just the arcade version, and it's, like, there's not, like, a versus mode, it's, like, you have to press start to, like, oh, new challenger, and then you pick your guy, and then, like, they lose or whatever, and then you just continue the arcade mode.
Yeah, it's
And then
like,
at
this
the-
isn't really, I feel like, how this is meant to go.
Yeah, it's like, can I just, like, have a versus mode?
Uh-huh. Like, it's just so much more convenient to have access to that. As when you're playing on a console, for a console experience.
Yeah.
Like, I get what you mean, for sure. Like, it plays better, so for most fighting game fans, that's going to be, like, the main thing that they care about.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
I
it's
mean,
just, like,
for a casual
online.
player, it's nice.
Yeah, because I play it casually, I'm not too fancy with it, I guess.
Yeah. I cannot with fighting games. That, it just takes, it's too much effort. It all seems just so complicated.
Yeah. But like,
It is.
they gotta find a way to streamline the way video games are, cause like, okay, there's like movies, there's like Netflix, Amazon Prime, even like YouTube, you can like rent the movie or buy it or whatever. Like that's all fine. Or like music, it's like there's Spotify.
Yep.
With games, it's like, okay, you have to buy like a PS4 and a Switch to like, if you know what I mean, or like,
Yeah.
there's all these different consoles you have to get to like play anything, and then like some things don't run that well compared to other stuff. Where if like movies, it's like you put it on and every version is like the same.
Yep,
pretty much.
it's all the time. Like every new medium that comes out, you know, like when music started going digital, it was very easy. Like you can find basically any song in existence on Spotify. It's like pretty easy to port. Movies, same thing, but for games, I guess it's just more complicated because you have to redo the coding, and you have to do it. Just like seems to me, I guess like it takes a little bit more effort, but there is definitely something to be said for holding on to the history of games and making sure that you're respecting their legacy by keeping those games available and alive. Otherwise, you're going to have people that are either some games are going to be lost to time or people are going to pirate them, and you know, it's not a good thing like all around.
I think Nintendo's partly at fault for that. It's just
I think Nintendo's definitely one of the most guilty for that.
As a company.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
And
It's
they're probably
rough.
just going to continue the tradition of, you need the new console.
Because, dude, isn't it stupid? I can watch like Napoleon from 1920s. Okay, it's 5 hours long. I can watch that, but I can't play Ribbit King, which came out in 2003.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That movie is 100 years old, and you can easily access it.
That's the thing,
But
bro.
Ribbit King? Nope.
No, it's like how that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But I guess video games are just an entirely different beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I
they
don't
gotta
see that changing,
they gotta be
unfortunately.
dedicated more to emulating games on their own console, so that way people can play old games.
I say if the hardware is more powerful, there's no excuse for it to run all of the previous things you've made.
they should be
it
able
should
to
be.
make it happen.
It should be in some way, it should be just a quality of life thing where you can go back and play games that you own.
Yeah.
And because you're advocating towards emulation or ROM hacking and stuff like that because people they don't have access to it.
Yep. Even Xbox, they have the backwards compatibility thing.
Yeah.
But it's some games.
Yep, only for some. I don't know why it's like that. Again, I'm guessing it's probably something to do with a coding element, maybe. But
I would say it's a few things. Number one's money, probably, because there's not enough people actually playing those. Second
True.
would be coding, because that's it takes a lot of time. Because they make them pretty high quality too. And the third thing is copyright stuff. So what's it called?
So it really is a question of values.
It's what's it called? Jet Set Radio Future, right? Is a game on Xbox, and it has all sorts of music in it from different artists and stuff.
yeah.
So, and it's from the early 2000s, so some of those bands probably don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, true.
So trying to bring it over to now, because you can't release it without the music.
yeah, it's part of the
It's part of the game,
aesthetic,
right? So
part of the experience. Yeah.
so it's just stuck on an old console for ever.
Yeah.
And it's bro.
It's are you kidding me?
Sad, man.
Yeah, no, crazy stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
well, you know what? I think that we've been going on for a pretty good while. I think that we
over
can
an
probably
hour.
call it an episode here.
Well,
Yep.
there is one more thing I want to talk about because this recently happened.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
It's pretty
We'll do
big.
this. We'll do this last topic, and we'll
One little
get-
thing to cap it off. Have you guys heard of the phenomenon known as the most mysterious song on the internet?
No,
I've
what?
not.
So, the story goes is that back in 2007 on this music forum, this woman puts up a snippet of the song that they recorded on a cassette tape back in the early 80s of a radio station playing this song that they don't know the name or title of or where it originated from. And they're asking people, does anybody know where this song came from? What is this song? And literally nobody fucking knew what this song or who they were. And it's like this, it's like from this German radio station from like 1982. So like it goes on, right? And it resurfaces back in like 2010s or something. Because the original snippet was like only a minute of the song.
Yeah.
Somebody posts the full 3 minutes of the song, well, the recorded radio play of it, and it goes viral. And there's like this whole Reddit community and like all these different communities trying to track it down, and like there's all these leads and like they go nowhere. It just seems like this impossible task.
And they still haven't found out.
5 days ago, they reached out to they found the original radio station that played it, and like they were sourced to this one person who was working back in the 80s, and they talked about certain bands that were being advertised on that station, and they connected him to this musician, and they send over this small EP, which is like a selection of like 3 songs over, and they start playing the song, and it's literally the same song.
No way. They just found this out.
Found it.
The issue was they thought the song title was Like the Wind, because that's like the first thing they say in the song, but it wasn't. That wasn't the name. Because nobody knew the name. So like they were getting lost. But it was called Subways of Your Mind.
Subways of Your Mind.
Subways of Your Mind.
Wow.
And the crazy thing about this is,
wow,
once this went into the news articles, all original band members were still alive, and they heard about this news, and they got back together and re-recorded it. 40 years later.
Jeez, man.
Wow. Is the new version of the song released yet, or is it like still gonna come out? Or
so far, 3 of the 4 members got together on this news station for an interview. Funnily enough, it was the same radio station that recorded it originally.
That makes sense.
They got back together, 3 of them, because they're still trying to reach the drummer, and they did an acoustic version of it.
Oh, okay. Cool. And is that available to listen to now?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's Subways of Your Mind.
Subways
the
of
band
Your
name
Mind.
is
I gotta listen to this now, I guess.
But yeah, I thought that was like pretty sick, because I was following it a little bit, because I'm into that kind of stuff. Like it's lost media, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is always interesting.
Can we like
it's so cool. Go on,
sorry,
Josh,
go. No, you talk.
I was just saying, it's always cool when you see, like, on the internet, like a community just come together to really try to figure out like a mystery of some kind, or like solve a task. And the fact that they were going on about this song for like more than a decade is crazy. But I couldn't imagine being a part of that community and then finally getting your answer these years later. Like the fact that there is actually an ending to this story is like, that's crazy. That's one of the coolest parts about the existence of the internet.
The awesome ending too. You know, can we
It was just crazy seeing on Reddit that there's some old guy with gray hair holding up the original tape of the song.
It's my song.
In a picture.
Yo, okay, real talk. Can we like start just doing all this where it's like most obscure song, longest movie ever made, like oldest like video game or something, not oldest video game, but like oldest song ever, like most obscure video game. Like, can we just start doing all this? Get this like
we do like talking about that kind of stuff.
Like,
yeah,
like,
we can try. We can look at this stuff. Why not?
Can we play the most obscure video game ever made, or not? Maybe not like the most obscure, but like some of the most obscure ones ever. Like, can we just find the like,
and then we talk about it?
Yeah, I kind of want to watch the longest movie now. Like, this is really stupid, but I kind of want to do it now.
We can just. Man. It's the type of thing where you're kind of like, like it'd be cool to like say that you've done it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a benchmark thing more than you're actually interested.
I know. That's the thing.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy for me to find out.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. That's a cool story. I hadn't heard about that.
You know, Some Ordinary Gamers. You like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He did a great video on it. He did more justice than I did explaining it. It's such a big fucking thing. I only summarized it.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I bet there is like this whole like saga to it and everything like that. I'd love to.
Yeah.
Is there a documentary of it?
there's been like documentary style YouTube videos on it for the past few years.
Right.
Damn, bro. What was that game? Polybius? Is that the like
Oh, Polybius.
lost game or something?
Yeah.
Okay, how
It's
do
a
we
cursed
find that?
game actually?
Huh?
It's the story goes it's a cursed game, but it is a lost game too. But nobody really knows if it really existed. My thoughts on it is every myth has an ounce of truth in it, but I don't know. No one really knows.
I don't know about that. I feel like it's probably it could be some truth to it, but I feel like it's probably just something of like an urban myth.
Yeah. You know what else is
Yeah.
lost media? Toast sport. No, I'm joking. It's like almost
might
lost.
be.
media
One day.
to have been toast stories.
Toast sport.
We'll get into that, I'm sure, in a different episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it in the future for sure.
But yeah, Polybius, I feel like lost media, to be lost, it has to be media at first.
True.
That's more of just like a story.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's like
I love those, like-
yeah.
I love those like iceberg things.
Yeah. Just get deep into the mystery.
Dude, because
Let's
every
talk about
time,
some weird internet stuff.
dude, every time I find an iceberg, okay, especially ones where it's like video game iceberg or like stuff like that, and I'd just be like, man, I've never heard of anything past like
Yeah.
the third level.
Yeah.
What is all of this? And then you find out all this like really cool stuff, and it's like, whoa.
No,
Yeah.
it's bizarre. There's a lot of information out there that people just, not everyone knows about. So, those types of videos are always interesting to see. You generally learn
Yeah.
something new about topics that you even like. You might think that you know about it like super well, but even then you might like not. So,
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Well, I think that wraps up the first episode pretty good, guys.
okay.
I
I'd
don't know
say
if there's
so.
anything else we want to talk about, but we've been going for like over an hour, almost close to an hour and a half.
I mean,
So,
I
yeah.
think that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, for all of you who are still here, all two of you,
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in to the first official episode
Yeah,
of the
thanks.
JSJ Podcast. We don't really have a schedule. It just maybe once every week or two. Well, depends when we're available. We'll do another one.
Yep.
And yeah, we're probably just going to be talking about more of the same, but maybe more streamlined. This episode was kind of everything.
Yeah, this
Because
is
it's like kind of like
yeah.
an introduction. So we kind of went all out. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Okay.
Yep.
I recorded
I'm
too.
recording now.
Okay. When I say 3, 2, 1, BEP, we say BEP. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. On BEP we say BEP.
On BEP, we say BEP.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
BEP.
There we go.
That was
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, guys.
Can we leave that in?